Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's. What is this? The Broiler Chickens. Back. Uh-oh. Did I screw this up? I just sit here and I try and load all this stuff in time. Grim finished and I'm scrambling to get everything ready. I think I got the title of this thing done right, but forgive me if I screwed it up. Anyway, welcome back to the Frivolity. I suppose I should probably get off my ass and have my camera on stuff. The problem is I look like a total degenerate. All these YouTube influencers and stuff, they all look so pretty when they're on camera. I look like a train wreck. So anyway, and I have the background image probably not very flattering for YouTube, so we better not show that on YouTube. Anyway, welcome back to the insanity. I do find it interesting that when we go through these 4-year cycle pivots, man, it's like all logic just goes right out the window. So I hope you're enjoying the rally, the ride, the insanity. Did find it interesting. I got caught up here in the regulatory nonsense, and I sort of knew that this was going to happen from day one. But I got chicken when some people back east in my country started saying Canadians are not allowed on Binance and all that kind of stuff. So I haven't even logged on to the accounts lately, but I've actually left it in Sjord's hands. And if I understand correctly, I had one call that I made there a few months ago. I was super excited about LTO. And I was putting tweets out on social media, and actually it was kind of cool because Josh, he reminded the world that I did come in and say, you ought to take a look at something like this back here. And I always forget to do that. The only time that I actually toot my own horn is if I do bang out a double. I'll be like, banging out doubles, look at me, I'm so fucking awesome. But this one, unfortunately, I lost control of it, right? Because stupid Binance and Canada and regulators and... If anything, it's just so frustrating. It's such a great example that there's something very suspicious going on in the background. If these kind of huge moves can be made and had and realized, and yet Big Brother's in there saying, well, we believe, and really you're all government bureaucrats. The next time I take investment advice from somebody who works at the SEC, what are you, on drugs? I mean, that's like listening to the U.S. Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, tell you what's going to happen with the economy going forward. Every single market call they've made over the past 3 years has been 100% wrong. I mean, when do people go? Why the hell are we listening to these damn bureaucrats? They don't know what the hell's going to happen. But we do. And the worst part about it is we even deem them, they're the experts, so we have to pay attention and we have to respect what they have to say, even though they're probably lying straight to our faces, which is the worst part about all of this. Yeah, I mean, the irony of it all is we always say, how can you tell when a politician's lying to you? Jerks. This stupid world. They literally set us up for failure. That's the worst part about this is they sugarcoat the whole message that we're here to help you. We're here to encourage prosperity. When ironically enough, I might make the argument that actually they're here to get in our way, and they're here to try and prevent our prosperity. Go figure. I suppose one could argue that there's so many Steven Seagal, we all remember him, eh? There's so many of those kind of characters. Floyd Mayweather, there's another good example. BitConnect, that blatant fraud out there in the world. Hell, my Twitter feed. I'm sure you've all seen my Twitter feed. The hell is it? This clown, I can't even remember what his name is. Just outright blatant fraud. that I suppose to a certain degree I can understand why the bureaucrats who don't really know what the hell capitalism, how the game is played and all that, they just go, look at these kind of guys are running rampant in this space. We just gotta say, look at nobody's allowed to play in it thanks to these kind of dickheads. So, it is what it is. In fact, we were even joking. I'd be curious to see how many people in the crypto space even know what this image is. And this is the irony of it all. You get all these guys coming into this space being quote-unquote experts. Anybody who claims that they are an expert in crypto knows exactly what this is and knows the whole story behind it. And of course, it was basically an outright fraud. So it is kind of interesting. One of the guys that I respect highly in this space, Aaron, over at Ubic, he even put this sort of question out to the sort of cryptoverse. Do people even remember this story? So, and then of course, like I said, this guy's story. I mean, this guy was even worse because this guy was like, I'm not going to tell you who I am. I'm going to hide behind all my masks, but I'm going to tell you, if you give me money, I am basically stealing it from you with a mask on. And the guy thought he could get away with it. And it's so funny watching this story unfold. If anything, before I got this video going today, I said to myself in my head, okay, look at my job here. The only job I have, the only job is how can I help you people? I don't care about site subscriptions. I mean, the great part about it is I have two business partners that seem to be very determined and dogged, and they're just forging ahead. And the TRI, the actual, Jesus, actually, yeah, we've done very well. We don't need to talk numbers. And actually, I get the impression that TRI now is at the point where it's almost hit critical mass, that I don't have to worry about sort of, me, if I disappear, the place vanishes, because I think there's a lot of internal redundancy. Johnny Salmon, Sior did you a big solid recently, Johnny Salmon, if you're watching this. So I need you to come back to TRI and pay that back. And you know what I'm talking about. So those are the kind of things. Kieran and Daniele, we need to get you guys back in the fold and kicking it. So anyway, let's have some fun here today. It's about 10 to 11 my time. Really appreciate your guys' positive feedback. For Liam, actually, it's interesting. I didn't do any public broadcasts or anything on Thursday, and Thursday went very badly. Liam had a very bad day, and I didn't even get to see him that day. It was so chaotic. So, everybody, while you're watching this, if I help you at all, I want you to close your eyes and ask God to help that Liam have a good day. Help Dad help him. Sorry. Not quite sure why I'm getting so emotional, but anyway. So, how the hell can I help you people? There's got to be something I can do here to help you people. I mean, the problem is I can't really predict the future. So, like, a lot of people are like, thank you, Simon. Appreciate it. Actually, Simon, you're my Mr. 2020, right? I was so damn impressed with you last term. And I was really impressed with your reaction to your results, which was even cooler. So, thank you. Appreciate it. I know JoJo, she appreciates it. Every time I ask Spirit to help us, it's almost like I get like a little, all right, Brian, yep, we're still here to help you. And let's just all work together. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. Everybody on the site, of course, well, not everybody, but a lot of people on the site, they got paid today a lot. So I hope people on the site are enjoying. And, the irony of it all is this is just the shit that we teach. It's not like there's anything new. Hopefully you guys are just hearing the same damn message over and over and over and over and over. So, needless to say, woke up. I mean, I was a little bitter because of the way Canada's interacted with Binance recently. So I won't even touch it. But from what I understand, Seward managed this position rather nicely for TRI. So thank you, Seward. Appreciate that. Over in the Netherlands, I don't think Binance has pooped on Netherlands yet. So anyway, we are not lawbreakers. Super important in this kind of environment, especially going forward for the next 2 or 3 years. Crypto people, for God's sakes, pay your taxes. Try to stay low and under the radar screen, and just keep your nose clean. Because I have a feeling there's going to be scapegoats that are just sort of picked out. And they're just gonna, Big Brother, that little bald guy who's running the regulatory department down in their states right now. I got a feeling. I've seen repeatedly, guys, several references to DeFi being quote unquote. I don't know what the quote is, but they're not happy with it. You can see they're starting to really get upset about this DeFi stuff down in the states. So just keep your nose clean. Maybe relocate to Puerto Rico or something. I don't think there's any capital gains taxes there. Maybe find some sort of tax haven or something and just quietly, slowly just, reposition yourself. I think that's not a bad idea whatsoever. In fact, I think if I'm not mistaken, isn't Portugal sort of kind of tax friendly right now to crypto? I seem to remember something like that. I know Sjord, for instance, he's thinking long and hard about maybe relocating his family. Which I don't blame him, man. I don't blame him whatsoever. Sorry, guys. I don't know what it is. Yeah. Anyway, I called the house this morning, so Liam seems to be in good spirits today, so hopefully things will go well. All right, so I did, a big part of this weekend show is just to sort of speak to the current school term. Whether it be level 1, 2, or 3, I don't really care. Just like I said, my job here is, I think the most important thing here is I just have to remind myself my job here is just to help you guys. So I don't care where it is. I know we've had a lot of requests of late to go over trader report cards. I think that would be a really good idea for all TRIers to get into the habit of doing. I know, the level 3ers, they're going through very difficult stuff right now in options land, and I don't really want to get into their complex advanced strategies with you guys here in this show. Level 2ers, just starting to get involved in futures market structure and understanding the different participants, and actually somebody had a question about the commercial, so we could maybe look at that. And then, of course, the question here is, how on earth does this silly 4-year crypto cycle end? Pardon me for being so terribly rude. But I have a feeling you're going to see a lot more of this kind of price action over the next month or two, especially out of the little altcoins and stuff. Just be prepared. Actually, it was kind of interesting. I also showed some people in the level 1 program were kind of talking about, do you want to put a limit on how much money you're going to make on this stuff? And I wanted to show everybody, but I don't know whether I have it here or not. I might have put it over here. Just as I do it in the stock market, and also, this happens to be a crypto stock, so I mean that makes sense. But also too, in the warrants market, this happens to be alternative fuel companies. These guys are a electric, battery charging play. But hopefully you can see, I think probably the most important thing through these kind of environments is don't put a limit on how much money you can possibly make in this kind of market. And the one that I actually wanted to show you guys was, oh, did I have it there? Maybe I put it somewhere. Oh, it doesn't really matter whether, maybe it's over here. I don't know. I thought I drew it up. Anyway, I posted it in the level 1 group this morning. Oh, there it is over there. Yeah. So it doesn't really matter whether it's crypto, whether it's the crypto stocks, whether it's crazy things like derivatives and warrants and stuff. This is why I don't like to put a limit and say, after the 4th double, that's it. I'm going to sell everything and walk away, because you just never know. This is one of my better and if we put this in real terms, right, in your regular dollars, that's what it looks like, right? You can't even see where you buy these darn things. So we are in this kind of environment right now. Now, I don't know whether maybe it's just this and then maybe next cycle we go through this. I don't know. But, and actually, the funny thing is I don't even think it's in these kind of names. It's in the, probably the one actually that I think could do something similar like this is something like this Luna. Heading into this cycle peak. This to me has got these kind of, just absolutely insane blow off tops. You just don't know how high these damn things are going to go. I wouldn't be surprised, kind of like that Verge, right? You saw the sort of first wave, and then the second wave takes us to absolutely insane levels up top. So actually, it'd be interesting to do a comparison. Yeah, so you can see. I think that Verge is kind of, or the Luna is kind of doing this right now. And I think there's still this ahead of us in altcoin land. So get ready, folks. I mean, I don't know what it's going to look like, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's one more of these kind of nutsos. And that's another, even from the old high of this one here, that's 1, 2, 3 more doubles. So what does that mean for this crazy Luna? There's that high, right? So 20, so there's one double. So that would be one more from the breakout. Like we said on that Verge, there was another double. And then the ultimate top was another double. So that would be all the way up into that area. Call me crazy, but this is the kind of environment that I think we're in right now. Now, the only problem with this, and it's kind of the same thing with things like the corn, is why? Why is this happening? And, love Bitcoin. Bitcoin's so wonderful. Yeah, it's the next best thing since sliced bread. Is it really a function of Bitcoin, or is it a function of, same sort of thing? If we use that same logic of the Verge, well, that high there is 64. Remember, it's 3 doubles from there. So that means one double is up into the 120s. 2 doubles is up into the 250s. I mean, does this thing have to get all the way up into 500,000 by the end? There's 3 doubles, right? That would be the same thing as that Verge rally. I don't know whether we do that. I do find it interesting that actually now it seems to me I'm seeing more and more anecdotal evidence that people are actually sort of preparing themselves for a good $200,000 Bitcoin. So here it comes. Oh, goodness. I think I've told you guys repeatedly of late. My plan, I acquired a bunch of Bitcoins. Well, not a bunch, a few Bitcoins. We'll leave it at a few. For Liam, and I'll give you the pitch just because it's for my son and I have no problems whatsoever being an advocate for him. I've promised all of you guys that you guys have been super supportive of me and my adventures with my son Liam. He is low functioning autism. And I've basically said that into this rally peak, you guys have made some great donations to his cause, and I'm going to basically use those donations to try and buy him a house into the end of this. So I've told you guys since day one, and the question ultimately is, can I follow my plan? That's really the ultimate of all of this. And I'll even, I don't even know if I can do this on YouTube. Anyway, there is, does that work? No. Actually, maybe we can just go open image in new tab. Hey, there you go. if you do feel like contributing to Liam, I've made some sort of difference in your life, then really that's my job, right? Is I have to be an advocate for him. Oh, look at that! They won't even let me post that in there. That's funny. I'll throw that in the comments if you do feel like it, or just go to my Facebook page. You've all seen this image before. I'm not soliciting. All I'm just simply saying is, this is karma. If you'd like to help Liam out, anything that's raised through this goes directly towards Liam. So anyway, and my plan, and this is basically what I've told all of you guys since day one of this, is as soon as we hit 200,000, then basically I go on a dollar cost selling plan, where once a week over an 8-week period, I will be liquidating 1/8 of his position. So I thought it was interesting that plan, and I was kind of wavering recently going, oh God, I don't know whether we're going to ever hit that. But I thought it fascinating that somebody came out, and this would be perfect, but somebody came out and I retweeted. It's kind of funny. I just I go through sort of the Twitter feed on the weekend. I go, oh, that's kind of interesting. We'll send that out. So there was this article that was put out, and you guys all shit on me for fucking tweeting this out. Like, you guys weren't even you weren't even merciful. You guys were like, "You're an idiot, Brian. What are you doing?" And I was like, "I don't know." I thought it was interesting. I don't quite understand the background of this, but from what I understand, there's a fairly big court case going on in the state of Florida, and usually in those sort of explorations, a lot of sort of fun facts come out. Maybe we find out who Satoshi Nakamoto is. I don't know. But anyway, I did notice that Alex Sturck, and I respect Alex. He's probably the smartest guy I know in crypto. He didn't like that comment at all, which I thought was so funny. Interesting. So he says here, trial outcome will not reveal Satoshi. So look at this person like, come on, Brian, what you stupid jerk. I don't know. It caught my attention and I retweeted it. You guys are merciless though. I swear, no mercy at all. But anyway, I did see this. I thought this was a really interesting study. I have no idea how this person comes up with this logic here. I honestly don't know. So don't ask me to try and explain it. All I will say is quite often, let's see if I can. Oh, there it is. I don't know. It caught my attention and I retweeted it. You guys are merciless. No, it just doesn't. YouTube doesn't like that. I wonder why YouTube won't let me post that. Oh, maybe I'll do it. Oh, there's no comment field anymore now. That's right. I always tell you guys, oh yeah, post a comment below, but there's no comment field here anymore. How twisted. Alright, I have no idea what the hell to do here. And I never said I was any good at this, but yes, I can put here. So we'll just put Liam donation page link there. What a mess of a link though. So I don't know whether that's gonna work or not. Who knows? Doesn't really matter. Alright, so back to this story. Interesting thesis. 5.618. Not quite sure the logic of that. I have sort of stumbled upon 2.618. Seems to be some sort of constant in the Feigenbaum ratios and all that. 4.669 I think is the Feigenbaum ratio, so I'm not quite sure where this 5.618 logic comes out. Whoever the person is, tech dev, sure hope you're right, because he's calling it $231,812. And as I said, as soon as that 200,000 levels tripped up, I go into liquidating mode. So, and really, that's my plan. I'm just going to follow the plan. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can buy Liam a house here soon. Should be really nice. Yeah, 98% accuracy over 2 cycles. Okay. I have no idea. It sure is pretty, though, eh? It makes for a pretty picture. And what the hell? Frame this. If it does happen, then you'll definitely know who to follow and their crystal balls. I also had another interesting study somebody shared with me, the Puel multiple. I don't know if I'm butchering that name. My apologies if I am. But I guess this person is looking for a top when this indicator of theirs gets up, I guess, above this sort of red zone here. Does it look like just a quick little stab up there? Does it look like it has to be like embedded above the overbought zone? I have no clue. But all I'm going to say here is, and I don't even know if this is a static image. It might be from like a month or so ago. I have no idea. What does that say? November. Oh, there's the 13th. I can't tell how much data is on this. But anyway, there's November 11th. So I guess we're not. I think this is relatively recent data. So I don't know where it is right now, but not in the red box yet. So I guess we're not at a top yet. So those are a couple of interesting things that I saw sort of as I was looking at the market here recently. It feels, what I found really interesting about this current rally is the public doesn't really seem to be paying that much attention to this. You guys notice that? Usually when Bitcoin's topping, man, everybody and their brother's talking about it. Like here I remember specifically, there was an event right on Good Morning America. Some show host actually held up a Bitcoin QR code right to the camera, and somebody stole the Bitcoin just right from him because he just didn't know what he was doing. But the point of the matter is people were talking about it on Good Morning America, and a lot of people were really interested. Here, of course, we had the CME event, Bitcoin futures listing, and everybody and their brother was just over the top about altcoins. I do not see that kind of inertia in the altcoin space right now. If anything, what I do see, yeah, goddamn Bubic better get going. Hey, Jesus. Look at, hey, Aaron right there and Alex are both active in social media right now. So that tells me those two think that maybe their prospects are a little bit better now. All right, take it easy, Simon. Anyway, so I am a bit perplexed. And frankly speaking, there isn't the absolute insane orgy that I would have expected for a top. How long does this go on? How much price pump do we have to get that damn orgy engine going? And if we're not orgying now, do they have to take the price up top here to get that orgy going? Because I've always said repeatedly, Bitcoin cannot finish a move without some sort of horrendous face rip move up. Or down, for that matter. You know, like this bottom came in with Bitcoin losing 50% of its value in like a matter of a couple weeks. Just boom. And then I remember down in here, this was Mike Hearn Rage Quit. You guys remember that? I think that's what his name was. Mike Hearn? I think that's what it was. And then there was a nice little FU against the Phoenix lows here. I remember that. And then she turned back up. So really, the bottom was this whole period here. But I remember that Rage Quit event. That basically marked the bottom in the corn there. So, you know, bottoms of moves can happen. Then, of course, you know, we talked about this. This was the COVID event. This was Kevin's incredible buy down there. I'm sure there were probably a bunch of other people that bought this as well. Balls of steel kind of trade, but same sort of thing. Bitcoin can't finish a move to the downside with some sort of horrendous face rip. So I still think there's a big face rip coming. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. Only time will tell. I guess, you know, I did pull this up. Oh, yeah, okay. So we got a couple questions here for today. So, you know, if you guys are sitting over on YouTube, well, there you go. Shmita Jewish Calendar. Wow, there you go. BB leave also USDT wallet or QR code. Oh, you mean for Liam's thing? Okay, well, I'll keep that in mind. And really, it's not a shill. I mean, it's just if you want to help, great. If you don't, no big games. It's no big deal either way. But okay, I appreciate that. I mean, I have that image the way it is. So I really if anything, I don't even look at the wallet. Somebody actually made a donation, and they were like, "Brian, do you want to confirm that the donation made it through?" And I'm like, maybe, but I haven't logged into that thing in forever. So I try not to log into it. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to get emotional about it. I don't know. I mean, obviously you people have been insanely generous. But fingers crossed, and I've asked JoJo and I've asked Spirit, my number one goal is got to get that boy a house, right? Just so he's not living off the dole, and if, heaven forbid, I have to go one day, he's got a place to live for the rest of his life. So anyway, okay, blah, blah, blah. Let's get on to your questions here. So, hi, Brian. Can you talk about Q reversal screener today? Looking for some interesting buy signals. I tell you, man, this is a gift from God. If we can get this damn thing up and running, everybody at TRI is going to just be fucking stinking rich. Just got to eventually get it going. So I actually built, like Sjord built this screener out. It doesn't cover the entire universe right now. The universe is actually relatively small. So it's really just covering specific sectors. So I built the screeners right now. All I'm doing is I'm just following things like the S&P 500 and the Canadian TSX 300. And then sort of like the top crypto universe on Binance and Trex. You don't really see key reversals too often in these crypto markets. Yeah, you can see there aren't any. Because they're 24/7, so it's really difficult. But if and when we can get to the point where we can find key reversals across the entire broader market, oh my goodness, this is going to be like shooting fish in a barrel. Actually, Andrew and I just went and picked up one of his kind of Korean barbecue trade in the stock market. Where would be the best place to show this? This should be stock market. So tisk for putting Luna in there. I can't remember the symbol. Hold on. Alright. And Korean barbecue. Where's Korean barbecue? There. NVCN. There's a good example of a key reversal. No idea what the stock's going to do. You can see it's 95 to $1. It's just basically parked. The key reversal signal there is at $1. So it did actually even close above that level. So the key reversal signal has fired. You tell me, any potential to make any money on a stock that looks like that? How about when we zoom out? If these guys get their act together, is there any room for this stock to move up? That's almost funny when you see an image like that. The irony of it all, guys, is AMC, it looked exactly the same. Right back here, same sort of thing. Is there any reason to think this thing might move up? Taking a shot down here and woohoo! Actually, that's not even the best one. The best one is GME, because I was even trying to convince the guys that I work with in our little stock trading group, should we buy this? And they were like, no, it's a piece of shit. But the funny thing is, you could have looked at this right here and gone, is there any room for this thing to move up? Maybe one day this thing might even go 10x. We're going to buy it at $4. Whoops. Not sure what I just did there. I'm going to buy it at $4 and 10x our money will sell it at $40. Well, what happens if it goes 100x? You sell it at 400. This is another. Remember, I was just talking earlier about the Verge and the Mara and the Blink warrants and stuff. I mean, try not to put a cap on your potential earnings, because the market might just do something like this. You sold everything at $40. Oh, I got 10x, and then you look at that and go, oh my God, I just literally left Lambos on the table. All right. So this is number one reason why I don't like selling everything. Just every once in a while, one of these things goes crazy, and you're vindicated for following that slow, patient plan. Anyway, so point here is Andrew actually even pointed this out the other day to me. And I was like, damn, man, I'll go and buy some of that. Nice key reversal there. Is there much else to get excited about here on this thing technically? Yeah, I mean, it's an okay little bottom end of the range. Buy when it snows. Fundamental story's okay. I mean, it's not a terrible idea. Probably like little old lady nanny nibbles kind of idea. Can we, if we buy at $1, can we get $2? Get that risk-free trade established, and then once that happens, I don't care. Yeah, I think that's doable into the spring. So anyway, I went and bought some of that. On the actual site itself, like I said, the universe isn't that robust right now. So I have and actually it's interesting, you can see, I mean, hopefully, we haven't got this licked yet. This would probably be my next thing that I really want to beat up Sjord for, is I really want him to get these weekly screeners up and running. So when we get the weekly key reversals, then I know we're ready to market this thing. But here's some interesting key reversals just on the dailies. Franco-Nevada. What industry are they in? Franco-Nevada. Does anybody have any idea? Franco-Nevada? Does that sound familiar at all? Anyone? No? Jeez. ORO. Oh, I don't know what that is. Anyway, Franco-Nevada is in the mining business. Gold stocks. How's gold done recently? Was that a half decent idea? Probably. Does it make sense that people who play the stock, well, maybe what I should say is, does it make sense that the key reversal in itself looks like it fired there? How did that signal work? Was that worth paying attention to? I'd say so. Looks like it was okay. This particular screener, like you see here, it's spinning out right now key reversals anywhere. I mean, ideally, I'd like to have the key reversal signal show up in reload zones. When we get to that, then like I said, I know we're killing it. But right now, it's still work in progress. So, how about in the U.S.? And then there was also this company, Sprott. Does anybody have any idea? What does Sprott, what business line are they in? It's not an accident. Anyone? Bueller. Let's go see what happened. If you're not familiar, Sprott actually runs a lot of natural resource plays and a lot of mining plays. So let's see what we got here. Sprott. And I think this is Sprott TSX. What do you think? Was that key reversal useful information? Can you see where the key reversal came in? It's beautiful. I mean, I tell you, this thing should sell itself. Josh even says, hell, I could pay for my subscription for a year just with one trade. You're going to buy the break on that and look at it go. Chung, 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 chung. Awfully difficult to take these trades. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I mean, it's just absolutely remarkable how powerful these damn key reversal signals are. Here's actually really cool. This is actually a candlestick engulfing bar right there. So you could call this like a candle body key reversal signal. Any way you shake it, man, this thing's spitting up tons of buy signals. And wow, straight up. Looks like I highlighted a key reversal happening here before. You can see, opened up lower, closed higher. What do you think? Was that a half decent signals? This one's a really good one because it also probably comes in at half decent trade location. You know, at least you're not chasing top of the market. kind of sloppy bot setup, but I could probably see something to work with here. Anyway, point of the matter here is key reversals are so fucking bitchin'. They're just, they're the shit. And what I've officially said, and I know a lot of people on the site don't like it, but I think if anything as a legacy for Beamish is I'm going to keep the key reversal signal. If you want key reversals on the site, you've got to sign up for sort of our package. I don't want other people making the key reversal system and then going and marketing as theirs, because I've had that happen with some of the concepts that I've done. And frankly speaking, I don't mind if people take concepts that I've sort of created. I mean, I do mind when they completely butcher them and I have to reteach people completely from scratch. But this key reversal, nobody else in the world knows this. Nobody. I don't want people coming along going, oh yeah, key reversal, that's my idea, and I'm the shit. Fuck you. Unless your name is Jack Zion, you ain't got shit on this. Jack, if you're watching, which I doubt you are, but if you are watching, or, well, no, not even Chris. Chris taught me the VCIM model, and he's fucking the shit. Unfortunately, I think he's passed on now. But Jack Zion and I were the ones that did the key reversals together, and man, what a system. Anyway, so what a surprise. Whoever was asking, there's a big fat key reversal, and look what the price did. So, let's see. Can we look at any others? So you can see these two signals were firing right on. Be interesting to actually see what the bearish reversals are looking like. Interesting how I've been talking quite a bit of late. All right, thank you, Andre. Yeah, I kind of like that, because I've put together some really cool pages, right? The signals page, this breadth page, and once I sort of feel comfortable that this thing is up and running, I think I'll do like videos off of this, like how do you use this information to kill the market? Right, and I've told you, like, if you're running algorithms, what you want to do, if they're like bullish algorithms, is you want to focus on the leaders. These are the names that if you're hunting bullish setups, these are the ones you want to be hunting. And then conversely, if you're running bearish algos, exact same thing. These are the ones that you want to be shitting, or the bottom ones. All right, you want to be shorting those and buying the bull ones. The cool part about it is we cover, like, this is all of Australia, Canada, Europe, all of Western Europe, the United States. I mean, we cover a huge swath of the world. And then, of course, also you crypto kids. Man, we cover a lot of crypto. So anyway, and as you can see, look at all the sectors that we cover. I mean, and we got like Binance in here. Like, you can even just get a reading. Okay, let's see what CZ and his kids are thinking right now. What do you think? Are CZ and his kids happy right now? Can you see this? Do you understand what that signal is? I think CZ turned happy right about there November 8th. And he's looking happy now. And actually, I think I even saw tweets coming out of CZ, like little moon icons and stuff. Didn't you guys see that? So I would imagine, and like LTL, that goddamn fucking LTL, this thing kills me. Because I was super bullish. Like, this was the perfect, this is yet another really good example of rational analysis. Where Sjord came to us and he told us about there's fucking killer buy down in here, eh? But Sjord tell us, the director of the company comes down and he goes, life-changing events and all that kind of stuff. And sure enough, the damn thing goes zipping up, but should we chase? Oh, that's not a good idea. So this is everything that I'm trying to teach you people. Again, I'm trying to help that great Del Moody guy. He writes awesome notes. Like, do what Del Moody does and just take tons of notes. Point here is, right here, the company actually went and did something horrific. Traveling. What I want to do is I want to create the templates for the dashboard pages, because you're right. They're very, very difficult to work with. And I think what we're going to do is just sell the templates and have them just locked into place. And then if you want to buy the advanced sort of super duper subscription package that lets you build your own screeners and stuff, then maybe we give you the ability to build your own dashboards and stuff, because you're right. I mean, it's like pulling teeth getting those damn things to work. So, good point there, Traveling. I tell you, this product, I've told you guys before, this is a $1 billion product here. We could easily sell like 10,000 people around the world, like $100 a month subscription for, and look at this. These are just a pure momentum place. Like, this is what we teach in the school. These would be like, Davos and bot setups and Altangonators and stuff. And lo and behold, look what's coming up here. Freeport McMoran. What business are they in? That's exactly the same business that these guys are in. It's the same business. So what a surprise. We're getting a whole bunch of buy signals coming out of like metals companies over here. So not a big surprise. And actually, when you look at this over time, you see there's a whole bunch of metal companies that all spat up buy signals. I think like Barrick was a buy. Look at that damn Freeport McMoran. Jesus, that's copper, by the way. So Electronic Arts. Now this is an interesting one because the video game companies, they're starting to come back a little bit. I've heard people asking questions about Electronic Arts recently. So anyway, a little short-term momentum signal. Actually, a cute little bot setup. Nice. That's pretty chart. Pretty. So perfect signal. Perfect. Anyway, so I was kind of hoping to show you guys. It was recently. I guess it was a few days ago. I don't know. I don't see them. We did have a bunch of metals companies come in on the screeners, but maybe that was... Notice a lot of these gambling companies also started to come up on the screeners, and we got one, Jamie, who lived out of the UK. He was on the site giving fundamental analysis recently. And Super League Gaming, SLGG, was one of his ideas. I went and bought some more of that recently on a pullback. It's a good-looking chart. So I do see a lot of talk about the gaming companies. I'm hearing that they're saying that the gaming companies, they're earning more money now than they did through the whole COVID pandemic. So it's like people, I guess because they've gotten so much free money from all these stimmy programs, that they're just going to Vegas and they're just fucking rolling them bones and just handing the mafiosos all their stimmy money. Suppose the stock market's like, hey, no, come and spend that money here. Don't go to Vegas. Anyway. Interesting. There's another one of those video game companies looking bullish here. Anyway, I thought I remember the other day. It might have been that they were just the Canadian names. Because keep in mind, Canada's heavily resource oriented. So if you get sort of like a bullish push in gold, then half of Canada comes alive because half of Canada is gold here. So there you go. Yeah. So in Canada, you got Agnico Eagle. There's another gold stock coming in. So anyway, so key reversals, bullish breakouts. Yeah. I don't know. Let's see if there's any other key reversals here we can talk about. So we got some U.S. ones. Let's see what we got here. Anything that jumps out at us? Waste management. Interesting. I remember when those garbage stocks were really popular years ago. Woo-wee, look at that huge breakout. I mean, wouldn't this be handy just to get this in your mail? You can see there's such massive momentum pushes to fire these key reversals. This one hasn't confirmed yet. Oh, that one's nice. Look at that one. Pretty signal. So, I don't know whether... Oh, wow. Look at that. Just... Lots of... Look at all that... Look at that nice little breakout there. So, interesting. Buy when it snows, sell when it goes. Look at that. This was, on the semiconductors. Jeez, look at that signal on AMD. You know, those are the kind of trades that you guys want. Just tell me what to buy, when to buy it. I don't care about anything else. I just want to make money. No guarantees on the management, though, you sons of bitches. Don't come back and sue me. Oh, goodness. All right, so I don't know whether that helps. It's a cute little walkthrough of some key reversal signals. Still a work in progress. You know, I actually wanted to sell this platform last January. I was talking about selling a subscription. So here we are a full year later, and this thing's still under development. I don't know how long this is going to take. I've asked Spirit and I've asked JoJo if we could do some things. I'd really like to do something for Liam here. Fortunately, you can't push a chain, right? So I just have to sit and wait. But I'll tell you, man, as soon as this thing is sellable, I'll sell $1 million of subscriptions to this very, very quickly. All right, we'll see how it goes. Actually, it looks like this is not labeled correctly. So something's not right about this here. That should say have a suffix. Anyway, still a work in progress. Eventually we'll get there. I don't know when, but anyway. Yeah, I think that's about all I can talk about with screeners right now. You know, and tomorrow, and Sjord's kind of lost his voice recently with this recent sickness. So he's going to the doctor tomorrow. Hopefully. I don't even know. It's probably not even worth him doing a report. Maybe we could have one of his minions do a report in his absence, just to give us an update on, you know, how we're doing here and if there's any way we can help him get to the destination. Oh, well. I mean, hell, this might be another 5 years in the making, folks. I mean, I'd love to be able to sell it to you tomorrow. But it might be still 5 years out. I have no idea. Oh well. I will continue to keep using this sort of ad hoc. The signals are there, so it's just really a question of, you know, like we had one that the system spat up. It was a bearish one on a Canadian bank stock, and I took the trade because it was just so compelling. It was on TD Bank, and it made sense. The trade really made sense because basically the crooks who were running the country and enabled these banksters to get away with this insane fraud that they've pulled off here. My country, there was an election. And it literally gave the public the opportunity, look, if this is really such a bad situation, we can kick these people out of here. And we can hit the reset button. The only problem is the opposition party in my country right now, it can't get out of its own way to this guy. So this guy's basically got a blank check in our country. Even though he went around to like suburbs and stuff of the major cities and people were literally throwing rocks at him as he was going around campaigning for re-election because there's no viable alternative. He got re-elected. What a surprise. So it's fascinating. On the re-election event, which was right here, he got re-elected, and you can see this bank that was going, oh shit, our whole business model could collapse. They just went, this was just a big, whew. All right, back to business. Let's get on with the rapage. More rapage. And sure enough, up goes the stocks. So I did find it kind of interesting that the system actually did start to spit up bearish key reversals on this Canadian bank stock. It's interesting how these Canadian bank stocks are spitting out these key reversals. So I'm gonna keep a close eye on this one. It's interesting too because this is a company that's near and dear to me here because I happen to have an account at this firm, And you just saw that TD Bank, what it did. I mean, you can see that key reversal. This is interesting. It's quoted in Canadian dollars. That TD Bank trade was actually the Americans who really drive the bus when it comes to these things. Them spitting out the key reversal. I did notice that the US version of this thing, there is no key reversal. So I wonder whether I'd like to see how price acts on some sort of retest of this high. If we can rally back up into the top, I might just buy a put anyway, because you look at this damn chart, and there is basically the catastrophe of the COVID break, I guess you'd call it. I don't know. And you can see that these guys literally, and it's fascinating because you can almost see that this almost looks like perfectly symmetrical. It's quite remarkable. So something like there to there. Come on, you. No, I don't want to work anyway. We'll just eyeball it. Doesn't have to be totally accurate. And then we'll go extensions. Yeah. So interesting. This is basically everything that I teach the level 1ers. This is our parking garage. So if I was going to be thinking about a top coming in the market, this is exactly where it should come in. So I'm going to keep a close eye on this. And like I said, we did get a key reversal in the Canadian stock. I do a lot of options business with these big stocks like this, and I hate trading options in Canada. Any of you Canadians, try and avoid it like the plague. Here's the kick in the pants. Canadians have the audacity to look at somebody like CZ and say that they're corrupt and that they're going to outlaw Canadians participating on his exchange. Have any of you ever looked into the business practices of the Montreal Stock Exchange and who actually runs the place and some of the insane, over-the-top corruption of the history of the Montreal Stock Exchange? I teach people on my site that basically the Montreal Stock Exchange is run by the Canadian mafia. So it just goes to show these regulators who are trying to look out for Canadians' best interest. Oh, ban Binance, you're not allowed to be on there. What a load of horse shit. The interesting thing about Canadian law, though, is it's provincial. So there's actually a Quebec Securities Commission, and they're the people that oversee Montreal, and they have slightly different way of looking at the world than the than the Anglophones. That's probably the best way to look at it. So it's the Ontario Securities Commission that shit on Binance. But it just goes to show that, they actually call the securities industry in Canada a self-regulated organization. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Anytime you ever hear the term self-regulated organization, that is literally a license to be corrupt. It's a license to print money. It's a license that whoever put that law into place knew that they didn't want the actual real police looking into what's going on behind the scenes. And it's terrible how corrupt the securities industry is in my country, and how they, it's kind of like the way Gessler is acting about crypto down in the States. It's the same thing. It's like they half of the time they just want to bully, and it's not even really a question of what's legally right or wrong. It's a question of opinion and whose special interest is getting trodden on. And I might make the argument that half of the reason why these regulators are doing things like you're not allowed to do any business on Binance is because somebody in maybe the stock market who's got a Bitcoin ETF going owns a politician, and the politician's arm, now it's time to pay back that favor. Remember we did that $500,000 campaign contribution? And now it's time to pay back the favor. And that's terrible. That's how basically this world has been operated for, I might argue, the past 500, maybe even the better part of 1,000 years. So it's sort of maybe if we're really lucky, crypto and decentralization of all these authority figures and stuff, maybe we can actually bring that age of horrific, over-the-top corruption by the 1%. Maybe we can bring this to an end. Who knows? Anyway, that's best wishes. Rant, 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 rant. I will tell you that I am going to be watching for an opportunity to buy some puts on this CIBC, just on the simple fact that the key reversal signal fired. And, we probably look at things like momentum. You can even see RSI was up here. You can see RSI is substantially off of those highs. RSI actually just put in another W. Oh, what a surprise. Willie is stupidly overbought. The only thing we're kind of missing here is there's no MACD divergence, which I'd like to see, which would be sort of the final death knell of this. Anyway, actually, it might be interesting to see if the Canadian stock has that in there. Yeah, it's growing. I mean, we didn't quite punch the new highs here. Yeah, I mean, huge div off there. Probably, you know what this probably is? This is probably like a weekly div. Oh, boy. Wow, look at that. So here's the problem. Is that, Canada, unfortunately, is a commodity country. And Canada has done very, very well over the past 20 years as we've been going through and fascinating. Why on earth do we not have the price action from this stock but prior to 1997? What the fucking fuck? That's bullshit. Somebody is playing us, people. This is what I hate about this damn business. Even on TradingView, these fuckers are being played, and they don't even realize it. If you actually saw the actual price chart, it would be like this. It would be like, wow, but they're not going to let you see that. Isn't that terrible? Fuck this world. Ugh. It's like corruption is inground even in something as simple as I would just want to look at a price chart and give me the truth. Where's the stock been? And you would see that this thing has just absolutely gone parabolic, but you can't see that. That is insulting. Ugh. I swear it never ends. I know, now people are like, oh, Brian, calm down. Jeez. Trust me, these bank stocks have been around a lot longer since 1996. I mean, come on. Why are they doing that to us? Anyway, just, the last commodity. So actually what you're looking at here, and this is the biggest bank in Canada, what you're actually looking at here is you are looking at a commodity cycle start to a commodity cycle end. And ironically enough, this is actually the end of the cycle. This is actually very much like, do you remember in 2008? And it'd be really interesting. Can we get a price chart of General Motors and look and see the insane corruption around General Motors with that previous, 2008 financial asset crisis? Has General Motors been around for 100 years or so? Shouldn't we be able to get some pretty good data to work with? Type in General Motors, there it is, General Motors, and that's what you get to analyze. What the fucking fuck? It's so frustrating. Why are they doing this to us? Frustration central, eh? So, I might argue that what you're looking at here, ironically enough, I think this is actually the trap. This part right here. This cycle, this commodity cycle, it's over. That is the end of the cycle. There's the beginning of the cycle. You can see Canadian Bank is going to do well if Canada, a commodity country, is going to, see a lot of demand, a lot more, sort of interest in investing in the company. It makes sense. Investing in the country, it makes sense. 2000, this is what we teach in our education programs. This was the bottom of the commodity cycle. And this is actually the top of the cycle. And they've goaded all of the public into buying this up here, thinking this is a new bull market. And I might argue that this is an utter and complete trap which is being laid here. This is all bullshit. And I wouldn't be surprised if, like we always say, like, look left. Oh, what a coincidence. You can see that all of these lows all happen to be sort of in the same neighborhood. So if I was actually thinking, what is value on this? Well, it's probably somewhere in there. And then lo and behold, what does Mr. W.D. Gann say about natural price levels? All right, anybody? How do you figure out, like, if you look at a chart like that, how do you figure out what actually is naturally a healthy level for this thing? It's actually, the answer is incredibly simple. It's just nobody ever wants to hear the answer. The answer is you just take this high, $108.09, and you divide by 2, right? And you take this right to 0. And, do this on your beloved Bitcoin. All of the cycles. The same thing happens. That is actually where this thing naturally should be. Oh, and then, do we dare actually look at this versus M2 money supply? Oh, God. I don't even want to go there. But if anything, this is a really good lesson, everybody, because this Canada, in my opinion, is a short. It's a short. It's just simple as that. Canada is a short. But how long does it actually take for this insanity to break? I remember I was walking around just downtown Vancouver, back right here. This is where I met Shane and Andrew and all of them, and got to know the DJ scene in Vancouver and all that. And I was walking around going, this is ridiculous. There's way too much overdevelopment. And what have they done in the past few years? They've like doubled the amount of fucking construction around here in Vancouver. This is exactly like the 2008 financial crisis down in the States. Where, did any of you guys watch that Big Short movie? I mean, it's a perfect analogy. Do you remember that scene where he's driving through the suburb and everybody's coming out their house and they've all got for sale signs on their lawns? And they're all like, ooh, is this guy going to come and buy my house? Is this guy going to... It's the same thing. I look out my window and they're still putting up more buildings. What the hell is going on here? It's crazy. It's pure insanity. And hopefully, what you need to learn as market technicians is, let's call a spade a spade. Does this kind of growth in your stock price, because keep in mind, right, this was just the fucking crazy crisis there a year and a half ago. Does that look normal? Does that look healthy? Is that sustainable? Hell, you guys have played in the Bitcoin space long enough. You should know how to answer that question. So, it's fascinating. Like I said, all of my, ironically enough, all of my teachings actually said that this was the end of the cycle. So this company in particular, and I think all of the Canadian banking industry, they're like living on borrowed time right now, as far as I'm concerned. I do not think that they are growth companies right now. I think if anything, it's just this is like literally a powder keg waiting to go off, and at some point this powder keg is going to explode and all hell's going to break loose. So, what do you think? Should we go buy some puts? I think I just talked myself into a trade, eh? Now, maybe not on Royal Bank, but the irony of it all is I absolutely hate this bank, this CIBC. These people are so fucking arrogant. They're so full of themselves. They fucking feed Canadians into the ground. They don't give a fuck about you as a customer. So I actually wouldn't mind going and making some money off of this. So I'm going to actually, I might actually even put myself on a dollar cost averaging plan here. Same sort of logic though. You can see, how do we know where the natural retracement level of this, the high is $152. Just divide that by 2. So basically the market's saying that the natural price for this thing, and this makes sense, is watch what happens. We just draw just a simple trend line. Something along those lines. Right, boom, boom, boom. It's close. You want to go off of there. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. Well, 50% of $150 is just basically coming right back down into that level. So, what does this look like? Are we getting ready for one of these here, Canadian style? I think so. And I've actually even heard a lot of people say that down in the States, the U.S. housing boom, it's over. And actually, the real estate market's actually starting to already correct. So, fascinating. Anyway, something to think about. That was all based off of one question. What do you think of key reversals? God. So Cheryl's saying Florida, not quite yet. And actually, it is interesting. I don't know whether you guys saw, but recently, all of the forbearance stuff is starting to be clawed back. And here in Canada, all of the I think they call it CERB. I never got a fucking free penny of anything. That's all being clawed back now. If I understand correctly, the bankers in the States are starting to be a little less friendly. So you can kind of see the writing's on the walls. Something's going to break here. It is interesting. Somebody even asked, I think they even asked about this. I can't remember what it was. I thought I saw somebody ask about this crazy Chinese situation. You know, it's interesting. In 2007, we actually muddled along for like, I remember in Canada in particular, there was a mortgage company that was going under, and it literally went under, and it took about a year for the whole damn thing to play out from beginning to end. So could this be that same type of scenario? Definitely. The only difference that I would say here is that the Chinese themselves will know that there's a bottom in the market when the government comes and just bails these companies out. So I don't know what that looks like. I did see there was a big sort of Communist Party get-together recently, and they're all fucking basically, circle jerking over Winnie. And I suppose if you don't circle jerk in a correct sort of pace, cadence, enthusiasm, there is a spot in a concentration camp for you. So I would understand that the circle jerking is slightly suspect, but it's everything about a totalitarian dictatorship. It's probably exactly the same sort of scenario as Stalin, same scenario as Hitler, and then you want to go down the food chain, Mussolini, same thing as Mr. Jun-un over there in North Korea. Totalitarian dictators, I mean, it is what it is. The question ultimately here is, does this spill over? Does this cascade out of control? I mean, the irony of it all is this might also, too, be a bit of a political power play in that, Jack Ma, for example. Has anybody ever heard Jack Ma? Whatever happened to that guy? Is he still alive? Has anybody actually heard about him talking about challenging Winnie's authority of late anymore? How did that go? So, yeah, China black bagged him. Anyway, so, I would say, simply put, when the governments come in and say blank check, everything is taken care of, and you hear like little bureaucrats come in and go, hey, we're punishing the speculators, then you'll know the correction is over. But until that time, I would be very leery, very, very, very. And of course, we all know the Benner cycle, 22, 23. It's supposed to be a challenge. If this is the focal point that the whole damn silly Chinese real estate bubble finally unwinds, and of course here in Canada, like sadly, our dear leader here, who I think is actually related to Fidel Castro, if I'm not mistaken, our dear leader here, he's kind of chummy with the Chinese. So it doesn't surprise me that, things like the Australians, the Americans, and the Brits sign a military pact and leave Canada out of the equation. It wouldn't surprise me here if the Americans look at Vancouver and a collapsing real estate bubble here and go, it's your own fault. I mean, that's what you get for chumming up with Winnie the Pooh. That wouldn't surprise me one bit. Wouldn't surprise me. So, all right, people over on social media are saying Jack Ma is in Europe now. Oh, there you go. So at least he's still alive. Way to go, Jack Ma. Okay, how are we doing on questions here? We should keep this moving. Okay, so hey, hopefully I gave you a little sales pitch for the key reversals. I'll tell you, man, they're damn powerful shit. And Andrew, I told you, Andrew gave me one. I went and bought it the other day. There's a bunch of them. I mean, there's a really cool warrant that put in a weekly key reversal that I'm just absolutely in love with right now. This thing right here, AMPGW. So cool. You don't even see it on the dailies. Where is it? Weekly. Boom. There it is right there. So I went and bought that. No idea what this thing's going to do, but we'll see. Okay, next question. Could you take a quick look at Lufthansa? What are your thoughts on investing in large companies like that? Don't ever like investing in airlines. Airlines is a terrible business to try and make money in. I noticed most of the ideas on the site concern smaller, lesser known names. Yes and no. I mean, I buy plenty of big stocks. If I'm going to play a big stock, usually what I do is I buy an option, a leap, something like that. It's on big stocks. But I trade lots of big stocks. In fact, I don't know whether you could probably go back and look in the site database. I did trade an airline stock off of the lows there a year or two ago. It's a really cool trade. It's nice and profitable. What do you think? Can Brian trade big airline stocks? I don't know, maybe. Bought that breakout? I mean, this is everything that we teach you guys. Actually, I'll probably change this to a regular chart to see a little better. Took profits? What was that? That turned out to be a 7-to-1 risk reward. Fucking A. That wasn't a bad trade. I mean, can Brian trade big airline stocks? I think so. So that was actually a cool trade from last year. So I don't know. I disagree with you. I don't think. I think unfortunately, if you just like say join the site over the past 3 or 4 months, and you're just sort of watching what I'm doing right now, and just assuming that's what I do in the market, I trade everything. I don't care if there's money to be made. I'm there. But 9 times out of 10, I'll look at something and go that there's no money to be made there. So I just don't do it. But let's see what we got here. Like I said, not really the biggest fan of big airlines. This is a tough business to make money in. I'd also say, too, that you probably have a certain amount of the German government involved in here as well. I mean, this is such a massive, sort of entity. I think probably actually that trend line says everything I probably want to say to you guys. Although, probably also go here. Yeah. So, nasty downtrend. Market's trying to leave that downtrend. I think you could make the argument there's a half decent little W on the other side of this trend line right here. Looks like there was also another one right here. So somebody's trying to put a floor in this down in this area. And then notice, we could probably even go back here against those lows and do reload zone. And lo and behold, what we see here looks interesting. So the question I would have is, can I get a W on the other side of this trend line? Because what I think is going to happen here, you can see, especially with that nice crisp double top. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Market broke it. Can't buy there. We have to wait. Give me some sort of buy signal. And notice, no W, no W, no W, no W. Oh, just made another new low, no W. So, got to cool your jets. Also, too, notice, interesting, this is a Joby Gap setup. And, the World Series of Poker guy won that trading championship. he would just simply say that the Joby gap setup's target, right? Think gap and go. So about 29% move up there. We clone that. Boobity-boo, boobity-boo. And there's your target. So the Joby gap setup's already hit its objective. No W yet. This is actually a bit dangerous. Because notice, like we said there earlier, this did not W out here. Right? This is actually a lower low. See that? I got a sneaky suspicion they're going to bring this thing back down against here. And probably what I think is going to happen is they're going to crank it down here. So I don't really see anything to get too excited about there, to be honest with you. Don't see any bullish setup whatsoever. Suppose on the daily chart you might have had something to... No, I don't even see a W here. But I wouldn't be surprised. You know, like our rule on the site is we want to see 38.2s tested, then a bullish resolution to tell us that this down move is over. So there is 38.2. What a surprise. We rallied up into that level and stopped. So if this thing really is a bull, my suggestion is watch for a W down in here and see if you can, you know, what we really want to see is you want to see this low hold and then a W come in, right? And you might even go like, okay, well, I'll draw my reload zone off of here. And so specifically, there's your buy window. Notice there's some juicy gaps down here to be filled in. So you got a pretty good level to work with to start hunting. Yeah, that makes sense. So you can see, look at this big old gap right here. Boom. And another one here, boom. Another one here, boom. And of course, there's also another one right down at the lows. So, where are you going to go shopping? I'd say somewhere down in here looks pretty good. It doesn't look like there's anything to do here in the short term. So, hopefully that helps. Give you a pretty good breakdown of what I see there. Probably also ask, is this a bullish divergence here in momentum? Yeah, it's trying. That's not bad. RSI's giving you a big bull div. Nothing really to work with on MACD, though. Sloppy. Nothing on OBV. Sloppy. You know, I would say there was a cute little, looks like there was a cute little Davo signal. So the little day traders, down, up, down, breakout, Joby gap, trade that, and away you go. But there's no trade now. Nothing whatsoever. So, hope that helps. You know, I would just simply say, I will be hunting in here. So, what I would strongly suggest is let's keep an eye on this and remind me in the weeks and months ahead for a review. And we'll take a look at it. But I can tell you, long and short of it here, there'd be no reason for me to buy a big stock like this. There's no reason. Unless this thing just set up absolutely pristinely, just a nice, you know, you can see this low right here is probably going to be a key battle point. Unless this thing set up just the most pristine, nice bull divs coming in here, nice W's, you know, unless this thing just looked like absolute gold, there probably isn't a reason I'd want to be in here. So, all right, so hopefully that helps. Right, number 3. Hi, Brian. Could you provide a demonstration of how you use RSI in your assessment of momentum, please? Okay. I mean, I wonder, whoever does these write-ups, is there anywhere we can make reference to previous rants I did in daily briefs about using RSI? Because it is kind of complicated. It takes a while to go through it all. And we're already at 12 o'clock now. I've already been barking to you guys for about an hour or so. I think I see another person got another big win off here today. You bastards. What'd you get there? Somebody just hit the, oh, isn't that interesting? So, yeah, what a great analogy, eh? I think, yeah, I had that on there, that 8-7. Question is, where do you draw this foggy off of? Do you draw it off of that low? back up to that high? I think that's what you have to do. Suppose you could go off of this. Well, and then there was this foggy. Maybe that's what you're looking at over there on in the lounge. Right in there. That high there to that low there. Boom. Nailed it. Man, that's incredible, eh? Mugenbaum. So, how am I going to attack this? The easiest thing that I would just try and remember about RSI and the way that I approach it is there are 3 waves for the bull and the bear. So if we go heads up, we shifted the candlestick pattern and volume profile sections to the built-in tabs. Oh, okay. Built-in. Frustrating. RSI. Oh, okay, there we are. Okay. So, and then I just usually color each wave a different color. So the first one, I usually color it like kind of a friendly color. So I like to do it like teal or something. It's nice and neutral. So your first W here, this kind of stops the bear slide. So just think of it that way. Okay, bear slide is officially stopped. This one didn't really have that great of a setup here. I suppose you could argue that the next W, I like to draw off a yellow. That's probably there. That's sort of your trade setup. And it's the second W. Like I said, I like to draw yellow. This is usually actually, if I'm going to be trading this thing, this is actually the one that I want to hunt for the trade signal. So, in essence, that went up through there. Didn't really produce much. I have a rule that says that if the second W comes in on a move through the 50 line, then it should be a really big signal. But you can see that came in well above the 50 line, so kind of wishy-washy signal. And really, I would say on balance, didn't really produce much. A little bit of a rally, but nothing to write home about. Never did get that third top. Usually, I get a third W. I suppose you could argue that maybe if it's not on here, what you have to do drill down to is maybe like a 4-hour chart to see what the setup looks like. So you can see we go now back down to lower time frame. Probably the trade was setting up off the lower time frames. It wasn't a daily chart setup. It was like a 4-hour setup. So first W here stops the bear slide. You can see just an absolute mess. Then second W, this is interesting. This does come on a move through the 50 line. So there's sort of your buy signal. This is actually really sloppy. I guess maybe something like that. Ugh. So that's not a bad signal, right? And sure enough, yeah, that produced a pretty good trade. Then, the issue here is you just don't want to take the trade if you're up to the third W. So this is the first one down here stops the bear slide. Second one through 50 line, big breakout. But notice there's a third little W that comes in. It's very steep. And the third W I usually label purple. And it's basically the noob move. And so that third W is usually when the noobs come in, and of course that was them buying here. And the very first thing that happens is bang, a new comes in, M comes in. So that starts the process now going the other direction. So first M tells the bulls to cool their jets, right? And unfortunately the noobs just came in and bought the purple. They're buying in here, and the pros, they've just been given a signal, you better cool your jets, right, as of here. So the noobs just piled in, the pros were told to cool their jets. Then this gets even worse, of course, because now you get this big old divergence here. So now, hopefully you can see again, You know, we can say that that's still in place, but now kind of like this one here, you've got this big second M that looks like it comes in through the 50 line. Oh boy. So, boom. So exact opposite, that was a buy signal. Well, that is a sell signal. And that is right in here. How did that work out? Yeah, pretty good. Problem is, public, they can't take that signal. They wait for the third signal. We call that the Noob signal. There's that third one. Color it purple. So the Noobs, they're coming in and buying this one down here. And ironically enough, look at what actually meets them as soon as they get into the trade. So Noobs come in. They sell this down here. And that's right here. They're selling here, and in comes a W. All right, so we start the whole damn thing all over again. Noobs, of course, get flushed out. Pros are told to cool their bearish jets. And you can see same sort of thing happened here, right? Notice this little W down here, which we painted, right? That was after this move here, right? So one WM, second M, third M, Noobs come in selling this. And of course, we had our W come in, teal. The pros are told to cool their bearish jets, and the market just starts cranking back up. So the same sort of thing here, right? So we got a little bit of a signal. Then you can see we came back down. Uh-oh, are we getting another signal like our 50 line move, right? So hopefully you guys are seeing how this works. So we'll go like that, go like that. So another signal in here. You have this little bottom. You also have this bottom here. So this is interesting. I actually like this trade, but it looks like it didn't work. So nice little double bottom. It was in the reload zone, but one more fuck you before the actual lows come in. So here's an example where you got stopped out. Boosh. First M in RSI tells you to cool your jets. We're back into teal mode now. So there's an M. So we're back into the teals. So we're failing. But notice we didn't get any more M's. And then, now we're starting to put in W's again. So now we've got teal W's going again. Huge battle. So the bulls failed. You better get the hell out of there. Sure enough, market, this signal just didn't work. Then the teals come in again. And then notice, and look at this. We're putting in a number of W's. W. But I don't know whether you can see. Like this is the first one. That's teal. So what color should this second sort of W pattern be? See if you guys are with me. Anyone? Is there anybody even? Hi, what is your opinion about Game Coin? Good idea to invest or just run? I don't know. I'll take a look in a minute. Yellow. Very good. So, yellow. And is it through the 50 line? Looks like it is to me. Right up there. So is that a trade signal? Should we expect some fireworks? And woohoo! That's pretty damn big. The only problem is, of course, the noobs. They're all coming in here. As soon as you start seeing another W, especially like this one here, into overbought zone, what color should this be? Let's see if you guys are paying attention. Like this one, what color should this one be up here? Good, Wade. Thank you, Alex. Hit the like button, subscribe, ring Colleen's bell. Somebody reach out to Lisa. Looks like she just left into utter disgust. Like that purple. Do we have any sort of rules about RSI above 70? Should we be going and chasing that? I would say on balance, probably not a good idea. It looks like the noobs got away with one here, right? Like I still think the buy signal was this breakout here. The noobs who just kept pressing this, they got away with one. But notice what just came in up here. So not only are these M's, right, which means, of course, we got to start drawing these lines. And what do we say about the first M that comes up here? What are we supposed to do? All right, Alex. Well, yeah, I've told you, Alex, if you want to help me out, and you really appreciate all the value, help me buy that house for Leo. Remember, I do all these things, hours and hours and hours and hours of video, but I don't really get paid anything for this. So you all know how to help. If you like me, Alex, help Liam get that goddamn house. All right. Anyway. So, teal, what are we supposed to do? How about cool your jets? Hey, there you go. And you can also sign up for the school. But remember, the school is TRI. That's not really Brian. I at best, not even at best. It would be like, if you were like, oh, Brian, I really want to help, I'll sign up for the site. Just remember, I make, if you do sign up for the site, I make like maybe 10 cents on the dollar or something like that. So, but if you want to help Liam out and get that fucking house for him, if you make a donation to his fund, everything goes straight to Liam. So anyway, that's here and there. Okay, so point of the matter here, first M comes in. We color that teal, of course, and that better be, you better cool your frickin' jets. And I might even argue that there's even a cuter little M that just came in up here. So I actually think that that's probably your first M is there. Then, interestingly enough, your second M is there. Now, if this second M, what should we color this second M? There's the first M right there. This is, you better cool your jets, right? And in here, if you were long, that would have been a damn good idea. The second M comes in. What color do we want to have this? Anyone? Am I wasting too much time on this? Probably. Yellow? Is it a trade? Is this second M going to translate into a monster trade? Let's see if you guys were listening. This second M, is this going to translate into a monster trade? I don't think so. Why? Because it's not through the 50 line. So now, actually, we've got the third M coming in here now, and this is super steep. Can you see this third M? This is through the 50 line, but it's the third M. What color should this third M be? And who is it that's coming in and shorting this move right here? It's the noobs. So this should be colored purple. So hopefully you've seen how we just sort of walk through about what? One up wave, then a down wave, then an up wave, and now we're going through a down wave. And basically you just walk yourself through. If you see a second W setting up on a move through a 50 line, either bull, it's going to be a big move up, or bear, it's going to be a big move down. And here again, bull, big move up. I don't know. I get the feeling that this is a trap. I wouldn't be surprised. Look at all these damn gaps. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually probably play off of that level right there. And because this is a third M, I wouldn't be surprised. We're going to get some sort of puke out here. We're going to come back down, but then the damn thing's going to violently rip the other direction. And of course, what color should this be? And you're all saying, of course, Brian, that should be teal as your first W off of the bottom. And of course, we know that the noobs are coming in and shorting, so that would make perfect sense. So anyway, maybe take a screenshot of that, and let's review tomorrow, and let's see how this thing played out in the daily brief tomorrow. Okay, let's keep moving this train forward. Gotta head off to Liam soon. Okay, number 4. Hi, Brian. Could you take a look at XAU BTC? Is it time to start taking some of our BTC USD profits and putting them into gold, even though gold is looking high right now? Thanks, Fred Drums. Ah, goodness. Well, I mean, we can just keep it really simple. XAU BTC. So I don't know if this even is an asset you can chart. Hey, there you go. Gold, Bitcoin, calculated by TradingViews. Let's see what we got here. Survey says they don't want us looking at gold versus Bitcoin. Let's try that again. XAU BTC. Survey says they just don't want us looking at that, do they? All right, let's try go. And XAU, is that actually gold or is that like the gold stocks? So this would be gold itself. Something like that. Well, maybe my TradingView is broken. Did I break TradingView? Maybe. Let's try over here. GC 1 exclamation mark divided by BTC 1 exclamation mark. Maybe that's what I have to do. Hey, there we go. Interesting. The only problem is like, why are you buying gold? I often sort of mused about this, and I even put tweets out about this, is clearly this asset has been horrendously manipulated. This gold asset. I mean, you all see what's happening. Actually, maybe it's coming back to life here. Maybe. You all seen what's happened with the price of lumber, price of grains and stuff. Why is this thing not finally doing something here through this cycle? Maybe it's gold's time to shine. I don't know. I do know a lot of people on this site for years have been following this massive bot setup. I've been sort of under the impression that the gold market was first off sort of left behind because there's too many people that were long it. Too many people were expecting the price to go up, and so as a result, price not going to go up. Too many people are long. I suppose if you could argue bots, then probably a nice little shot up to like $2,700. It wouldn't be unrealistic. I just think that this thing, if all things left alone, gold should have been like $10,000, $20,000 an ounce now. Why it isn't? Like I said, I think just too many people are long gold, and that's one of the main reasons why it's not performed. I suppose doing things like price channels, that's probably a pretty good way to look at it. So that paints an objective somewhere up in here. Where is that? Wow, that's all the way out into 2026, 2027. Fascinating. It does look to me like we are battling at the midpoint of this channel quite violently here. I don't know whether I'm totally convinced that gold's getting ready to rocket here. I suppose, perfect storm, all of the things in place for this thing to rally. I think all the pieces are there. It's just, I do find that are they going to blame the sickness? I don't know. Blame market manipulation? I don't know. I just find that everything seems like this market was supposed to top back here. And it just never did. Like Bitcoin, of course, ate its lunch. Because this thing didn't top when it was supposed to top, does that mean it has to play catch up? Maybe. Could we see a nice little pop up top here to validate the bullish bots? It's not out of the question. I would just purely say that if you are going to be playing this market, it's purely on a momentum play. So you are coming to the market very late. You're coming to the market actually about halfway through this trade anyway. And I might argue that there's actually, at this point right here, there's just as much risk in this trade as there is reward. I think actually the risk reward is basically even. So, buying off of these double bottoms down here, obviously, bots, front running bots, W's, 3 higher lows, blah, 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 blah. That's obviously where you'd want to do the trade. I think I've told you guys before, I'm not really a big gold bull right now. I think I'd much rather have my money working in things like Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. But does that mean that this can't go up into the top here? No, it doesn't mean that at all. It can do any old damn thing it wants. It's just the relative risk here, I think, it's not like this is coming in and buying value. You're coming into the story very, very late. One versus the other. That's a very good question. Might be interesting to actually do something like the Bitcoin ETF versus the gold ETF. See if there's anything we can discern out of this. So this is that GBTC. Are we coming into a top here? Do you really want to sell your GBTC and roll that into gold? I don't know. I don't know whether I really want to step in front of this thing. It almost looks to me like this is kind of like a cup and handle, eh? So there's your big cup. Here's your handle. If this thing gets going through the top, oh boy, look out. So I don't know, Fred. I know it would be easy to say, yep, hop out of your Bitcoins, go buy your gold. I don't see the turn there yet, this was gold. How many, I guess the way you would look at this is, how many ounces of gold does it take to buy one Bitcoin, right? And I guess if that would be like 1-to-1 if they were equal. So we are a million miles away from that, obviously. But has that actually turned up here in earnest? You could take a trade there, but I don't think there's like a, oh my God, this is a pound the table signal. It makes sense if Fred, if this is my South American. Actually, if this is my South American Fred, take a look at your Brazilian real these days. I think it just put in an upside key reversal. So fuck gold, fuck Bitcoin. You should be buying Brazilian reals. Can't remember what the hell's that, bros? Oh, fudge. What the heck? US dollar, Brazilian real. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. Look at that. I think you want to be, and I think this goes down if the Brazilian real gets more valuable. I'm not quite sure. Yeah. Holy shit. So that, the irony of it all is that if there was a place that I'd want to invest in, I think I'd want to invest in Brazil. I think that's what this is telling me. Which is fascinating. So I don't know whether this is Fred. I don't know whether this is the same Fred. This might be a different Fred. But if this is my South American Fred, man, I'm telling you, man, if there's something, it caught my attention the other day because I have this huge screen of, what the hell did I do with that chart? I have a huge, oh, there it is. I have a huge screen of charts, and it's on my big like 60-70 inch TV screen, and I turned it on the other day, and right in front of my face was like a picture of the Brazilian real chart, and it was as big as a dinner plate, and I'm like, holy shit. I overlooked that. I couldn't believe it. It's staring me right in the face. But like on this site, we have on the really, really big TV out in the living room. Mind you, we've never gotten the living room set up the way that we originally planned. Maybe we'll do that. Who knows? Where is it? I don't know where I put it. Here it is. I think this is it. I can't remember what the damn symbol is, but maybe I can show you it over here. I was really surprised that Brazilian real looked very, very viable. It was quite shocking. And I like just loading this up as sort of like, let's take a quick peruse around the broader market and just see what the hell's going on. I think that was down right about here somewhere. If I'm not mistaken. There we are. Oh, 6R. No, that's a Russian ruble. Stay the hell away from Russia. Here it is over here. There we go. Look at that fucking thing. What's the symbol of this stupid thing? Does it say what symbol it is? How do I figure out what the symbol is? What does it say? No. I can't figure out the damn symbol. Okay, go away. So, what's that? No. No. Darn. Anyway, hopefully you can see. There it is, right? Look at that son of a gun. That is one hell of a reversal signal there. So like I said, on my 60-inch TV, this like staring me in the face. If you want to buy something, buy those goddamn Brazilian real futures. I thought that was impressive. So I wonder what coffee prices are doing. Maybe coffee prices have finally bottomed. Be interesting to see. Now I'm kind of just blabbing away here mindlessly. KC1 exclamation mark. Boom. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, now everybody get used to it. Your coffee's all of a sudden going to get a lot more expensive now. So this is probably why the Brazilian real is taking off here. Yeah, look at that. Jesus. Should have bought your coffee there about a year or so ago, eh? Look at that damn thing go. So let's see how expensive our coffee gets now, folks. I got a funny... We've been enjoying cheap coffee here for quite a while, so I got a funny feeling your coffee prices are all going to go nuts here. Wonderful. Okay, so hope that helps. Didn't really answer your question too succinctly. Problem is, you know, I'd much rather you buy growth stories than buy gold. But, you know, going and buying gold is like burying your head in the sand. I mean, we want to, like, think growth here, guys. Think, you know, how's it, you know, like, there's a great stock that I loaded up on a while ago. It's such a good analogy of this is these guys just went and bought a whole bunch of S19 miners. You tell me. Now that they got the S19 miners, the deal's closed. Are they poised? Anybody know what the cost of production for an S19 miners is? It's pretty cheap. Are there companies that are going to make, like, just their earnings reports are just going to be insane? There's the S19 right there. You know, if these numbers Shane put together, they're still sitting at about $5,000-$6,000 cost of production, and that wouldn't surprise me. You know, seems to me that actually is not surprising. It's just for some silly reason over the past year or two, we've convinced ourselves that, well, this asset was $3,000. Now it's $65,000. So obviously these people were horrifically wrong, and these people are horrifically right. Well, what happens if it's the exact opposite, that these people are horrifically right and these people are just FOMO idiots chasing Alan and all his pipe dreams about fucking nonsense idiot nonsense? Yeah. I saw that Crypto Cobain guy tweeting out that I think his NFT portfolio is worth something like 1,000 ETHs. Is that realistic? A portfolio of NFTs that technically don't really do anything in this world. What the hell is 1,000 times 4,000? 4,500. Let's be generous. Whoops. So, NFT portfolio worth $4.5 million. Okay. So, the point I'm trying to make is if I'm going to invest in something, I want to invest in these guys that are mining Bitcoin at $5,000-$10,000 a Bitcoin, and they will report earnings down the road based on those costs of production. That's the kind of stuff I want to invest in. So anyway, so no there. I mean, caveat emptor, do with your money as you please. There's no right or wrong way to do this. I think probably the most important thing about all of this is, can you keep your head on straight through the day, right? That's the most important thing. So if you're having fun there in NFT land and you're banging out 10 million, I sure hope, I mean, I don't know how these NFTs work, but I sure hope you can take some profits on these things. I don't know whether you can or not, but I sure hope there is some way for you to cash in. Pay yourself for all your hard work. One thing that kind of bummed me out is I saw a lot of people become very, very wealthy that last cycle, and then, you know, market broke, everything went right down into the shit, and I never heard from them again, which was very, very disappointing. So just make damn sure to pay yourself, people. Okay, so that's it for the broiler chickens. Questions from students. Hi, Brian. Can you have a look at ETHBTC? Well, somebody snuck another one in here. What do we got here? ETHBTC. So that's just really a conversation of the big boys, one versus the other. Unfortunately, you look at that kind of chart, that doesn't fill me with a lot of optimism. I guess Ethereum has rallied smartly relative to Bitcoin. You can see what it did here into the end of 2017. Actually, that's June 2017, isn't it? So where's 2018? There it is. So, you know, look at, interesting, I guess this is when Bitcoin did a huge rally. Then altcoins had their sort of final push up, but they weren't able to actually make new highs. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see something similar to this. I mean, what do you make out of this in particular? I guess this is actually similar to that other story where I said it's kind of like, you know, you're not really, kind of like that gold. You're not really at the beginning of the trade. You're not at the end of the trade. You're kind of just sort of halfway in between. So, you know, we would call this no man's land. I suppose things like reload zones. I think it's pretty obvious where you were supposed to be a buyer. Right there. It's interesting how Bitcoin did bottom sort of through this window. So I guess as Bitcoin bottomed and then started to rally, that's what really kicked the wind out of this thing. And then Ethereum finally bottoms and it starts its game. So that's at 0.02. Here we are at 0.07. So we've already tripled from these levels. You know, Brian, he'd probably say, you know, at 0.4, which is probably that level in there, we probably should be trying to just get like a risk-free trade established, sell half on a double, whatever. Maybe you had to wait till this 4.3, right? Because that looks like that's a 2.2 there. So at this point, I really wouldn't have any cares. I would just say, you know, you can think about selling another half on a double, which would be, I guess, like 8.6. Maybe if you're lucky, you got a fill off up top here. Let's assume you didn't. Let's just assume there's your level sitting there. Just a big hurry up and do nothing right now. I suppose you could argue that if you wanted to sort of trend continuation trade this, you would go, ba-boom. What do I want to do here? Let's go like that, and we'll flip that around. So 33, no more than 66. Where you draw this, that's up to you. I mean, that technically is valid. That technically is valid. Just what you really want to see at least is that 33% correction. So we'll go off the whole fucking range. Why not? And then we'll go boom, and then we'll go boom. And really what you want to see is the 25 level sort of set up somewhere along in here. So we go bot trade. There's the 25 level. You know, this obviously isn't totally accurate. Something like that. We'll just eyeball it for now. So there is your sort of line in the sand. You can really see there's a hell of a war here, right? Look at how we W'd underneath it. And you can see even on the first stab, we M'd into that. Then we tried to break above it. Then we M'd above it again. Look how we lost that level twice there. They tried to recapture it. Dumped against the lows. Rallied right back up to it again. Pulled back. Broke through it. Pulled back again. Up. Now we're threatening to lose it again. So, I mean, hopefully you can all see, man, there is a hell of a war going on here at this level. I don't actually even mind, you know, that I would sort of front running the bot. I would actually say that that's probably an okay trade level. And then that way, if we do zip up to move stop to scratch, then it does pull back. You actually have a little bit of a cushion there. I think you got one low, two lows, three lows. In fact, this would be a good example of one lows, two lows, three lows. Woohoo! All right, we're rock and roll. Oh, no. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, boom. First low taken out. Oh, no, what are you doing? Come on. Oh, no. Ooh, second low. Is it going to get taken out? No, it didn't. All right, turn back up. Sometimes we go right down. In fact, actually, there was one on the site that I talked about. We went right down. We blew through that low, blew through that low. And it was just like, are we going to take Beamish's stop out? And they went, nope, and turned it back up. So, you know, it's a trader's life. So that's what I would be staring at right now. It certainly isn't anything pretty. And my hunch is this was probably on a bear div and momentum. And we have a rule. If you see a bear div and momentum and you're a bull, you better cool your jets. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, so you can see. Sure enough. If you did want to play this, I think probably your best bet is just to let this play itself out first. You can see lower highs. See RSI's rolling over. You can see Willie was stupid. We got no business buying when Willie's stupid. So there's the div. Boobity boo, boobity boo. So if anything, you want to let this clean itself up. You know, first M in RSI. In fact, actually, we might even have two M's. Maybe that's awfully difficult. Yeah, let's just be conservative. We'll just go with 1M. So that's a teal. So, really, the bull is on pause until that is cleaned up. Who knows how long it's going to take to clean up, folks. I never like to put predictions on these things. So, that's going on there. Oops. You know, in the short term, that looks uglier than sin. Looks like we got a little empire top here, sell signal that fired last candle. And, of course, this was a V bottom from a new low. We should see that low tested at some point anyway. So, you want to join this party? Probably something like that. There's your trend line support. If you got a nice little pullback down into here, nice little W, that would be awesome. That's probably what I would want to be seeing. So, that's sort of what I see here right now. And the interesting thing, right, is that I wouldn't fault you if you're like, well, Brian, I haven't got time to study those charts in minutia on like an intraday basis. I've got a career. I'm super busy. I got kids. Really, I wouldn't have a problem. You just say, okay, look at, I'm going to buy this level, which, you know, you can see the W's, W's have already come in. So I'm going to buy this double bottom here, and I'm just going to risk to a move below that level. And I'm in the trade right now. I'm just sitting there. My target is, what is that? 0.12, and my stop is 0.05, and I'm long from 0.07. I wouldn't have a problem with that. So there you go. Why don't we finish off? We'll take a look at that cash. I know Stewart, he liked this one a while ago. I was kind of bullish on it. Kind of petered out a little bit, but let's see what you got here now. That doesn't look very good. Yuck. In fact, I think I remember somebody on the site pointed out this bar here, this day, on some exchanges, it was all over the map. So I got a funny feeling there's some funny business going on here. And the problem with Trex is, you know, I hate to say it, but, you know, I'm not going to say it. I don't want to jinx it. I'm suspect. Let's put it that way. I'm suspect. Ascendex, I don't know what that is. Can you own this? Maybe on a maybe it was this USD one. Yeah. Oh well, that's not so bad. Guess there was this Tether one. Huge, ugly, nasty candle. I don't see anything to get bullish about there. I was bullish, but this is looking like shit now. Ugh. Too bad. Yeah. If and probably gonna follow along the sort of prospects of all this sort of Luna kind of stories here, eh? Is this Akash part of the Luna story? I'm not quite sure. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I do have it clumped in here because I know we asked Jord about the fundamental situation, but you can clearly see they put a bottom in here. This thing was rocking and rolling, and somebody came along and just bitch slapped this thing hard. So if you were like, you know, Beamish, I don't want to stick around this. This looks dangerous. I would not fault you whatsoever. This MIR, same sort of thing. It tried to put in a bottom here recently, and it's gone and M'd out as well. So that's why I said I wonder whether there's some sort of relationship here. And then good old Sjord's Luna. I mean, the problem with this thing here, it's not so much that this thing's an outright sell. It's just that, oh my goodness, holy nosebleed. And what I don't like is this historically is a bearish chart pattern. This is called an ascending wedge. And usually this resolves bearishly. So we'll see what happens here. Only time will tell. So I'm not overly impressed with what I saw out of here. Terrible, terrible price action. In fact, I might even just go in and just clean this out. Not even bother taking the risk here because I don't like the look of this at all now. This doesn't look good. I did originally want to risk to a break of these lows. So I'm going to let this simmer, I think, for a little bit. I'll tell you what. I'll go out, hang out with Liam today. I'll ask him what his opinion is. Kind of like Alan. If Liam says sell, then I'll just get the hell out. Because, of course, that's the way you do all your investment decisions, right? I swear, if it's not one thing, it's another out of that guy. Something just doesn't smell right about all that. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Only time will tell. All right. Hey, Ubik is alive. It's a fucking miracle. That's because Alex and Aaron have finally come out of the woodwork and they're actually talking to the public again. All right. Okay. I think I'm going to leave it at that. Got to go get pretty for the boy. You can see a bit of red on the screen. I'm not necessarily bearish of corn and bearish of crypto. I think as we've sort of talked about, there's a lot, everybody's looking for this thing to go to the moon. I think probably crypto, this was a fascinating case study. Feigenbaum's bullish harmonic objectives, and it's just like the market is just, it can't figure out what it wants to do up here. So it was interesting as we were coming into this, I was like, you know what, we probably should just cool our jets. I got the impression a week or two ago that we were actually getting ready to leave. And we pushed to new highs, everything was rocking and rolling, and then we just stalled. So I think we're still back in stall mode. It's not, there's no sell signal here, and seasonally this is not the right time of year for sell. It feels stally. And just be forewarned, right? This tail, this tail, this tail, really that tail there, these are all liquidity pools. So if they did want to just, you know, fuck the crypto kids over, keep in mind, this space is unregulated. Do you think Goldman Sachs gives a fuck about any of us? I mean, seriously. If they wanted to come along and just do like a 5,000 coin market sell order and just rip this thing back down into reload zones and stuff here, they could do that in a heartbeat. So just be aware of that. This is unregulated. They could do anything like that. But the irony of it all is, as long as they keep painting higher highs and higher lows, this thing's still a bull. So just don't be shocked. I mean, you can see, here's the kick in the pants. Remember our old high-low trend line that I've been talking to you guys over the past 6-8 months? I mean, the irony of it all is we'll probably come back and trade back to this high-low trend line. No problem here at all. Well, just be aware that means that this thing could fall out of bed like, $15,000 a coin here just in a blink of an eye. So that's how risky this shit is up here. I mean, I can't justify coming in on a lot of these cryptocurrencies. I can't justify buying any of this stuff. Can't justify buying anything up here. And actually what I'm seeing is kind of what we went through. I'm seeing some things that are getting a little concerning here. So, not ready to pull the trigger. If anything, what I would like to do is I'd like to see, I do honestly believe that the end of this move is something that looks along the lines of, this. My hunch is we're sort of in this phase right here, right now. How this ultimately tops out, I don't know. But you can see these little pullback there. Could we get one? There, right back against this most recent low? Sure, no problem. As somebody's saying on YouTube, right? Ironically enough, you got to wait for those dumps. If you fancy yourself a trader and all that shit, right? Wait for those dumps into things like Collins Pump Chaser Zone, into things like reload zones, back into Valley, tag blocks, tag high-low trendline supports, right? Eat those tails. And when you see that happen, you got to go, oh, fucking A, this is what I've been waiting for. Awesome. Okay, just give me a W, give me a bull div. All right, away we go. And that's what this dose was. And I think I told you guys, man, I missed a hell of a trade down here. Shit happens. This is the way it goes. So, there's your rant. I think I'll leave it at that. Fun conversation with you guys today. Hopefully I spoke to these topics. I don't know who asked this question, but hopefully that helped you. And by all means, if you guys have any follow through or anything, and you want me to ask tomorrow morning in the daily brief, feel free. I'll be more than happy. Oh, we'll take one more. Frank Sturr has asked me to take a look at MIST. All right, what the hell? Let's see what we got here. MIST. Bang. Hello. There you go. This is MIST Pharmaceuticals. I don't think this is what you're trading. Although that's a pretty good looking chart, eh? Fuck me, look at that. I don't think that's what you wanted me to buy, but maybe somebody bought that in the stock market, fat fingering, thinking that this is what they were supposed to buy, but in fact they were actually supposed to be over in crypto. Alchemist. Over on Polo. Ooh, I like Polo. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, I mean, just after our conversations about RSI there, who asked for this question? Frankster. Just based on our conversation about RSI, what should we be thinking right now? Is there any W's there at all? I'll make it really, really simple on you. And if you're like, okay, well, clearly there's no W's there at all. So what time frame are these guys working on? Maybe they're working off of a weekly chart. Oh, boy. If anything, you can see W moving higher. M. M's are bad. Boo. Hiss, hiss, boo. 2 days. Well, if anything here, okay, so this 2-day chart I think is basically our story here. So you can see clearly big old teal. Better cool your jets. Probably yellow was probably that guy, or maybe that guy, I'm not quite sure. But does it make sense that this bear move is getting a little bit old in the tooth now? would it be a good idea for the public to come in and be thinking aggressively shorting here? I would say no. Probably if you're bullish, you want to do things like reload zones. So, oh gee whiz, we're just now coming into the top of the reload zone. So what a surprise. RSI study here. What color should we color this breakdown here? See if anybody's ever listening to me. Oh, thank you, Edward. Appreciate that. I do honestly, when you guys give me good best wishes and shit like that, man, my day goes so much better with Liam. So Spirit, you see these people trying to help, trying to set Liam up positively, mentally. Get in there and help him, okay? Thank you. Appreciate it. And by helping him, you help me immensely. So hopefully you can see we're getting pretty late W's coming in here, eh? So my feeling is this is the noobs coming in and selling into the reload zone. Am I talking too much, Andrew? Should I shut the hell up here? And there's trend lines. Like, if anything, what I would expect is this thing's going to come down. It might puke out here. Then it's going to go in W. And, of course, that's got to be teal, right? So to start the cycle going the other direction. And, of course, the noobs are all going to be caught short. And they're, you know, that would be through here. The noobs are all going to be like orgy short. And the damn thing is just going to go woohoo, right? And they're all going to be caught short. And we're supposed to actually be thinking long. And then, of course, maybe it won't go that high. Maybe it goes like that. And then that will be our yellow buy signal over there. But anyway. So, I like the way I would look at... I think, actually, didn't I do this trade? This looks familiar. Yeah, there it is there. Alright, so what did I do here? Okay, so I came in at the bottom, sold half on a double, and I'm just sitting there doing nothing. The irony of it all is you asked me for that big old thing. Okay, what do I do? What am I? Oh, yeah, well, I'm sitting on free coins. Do nothing. You're just sitting there picking your nose. That's it. There's nothing else to do. And in fact, look at what's going on right here. Oh, actually, look at both of these. This is a little dangerous here, right, guys? So just be careful. There's that gap there, which is the original breakout. And there's also this gap down here. Oh, boy. And there's also this gap down here. So typical Goldman Sachs. Probably that hole right there. If you're going to work a stink bid, I kind of like that level right down in there. So, you know, and it's important that you guys focus in on good quality fundamental stories. I can't stress enough that. And actually, I'm really proud of this community. Because this, you know, last go round, we were just firing bullets off. Didn't really matter. I mean, things were all over the fucking place. But this guy, actually, I'm seeing you guys actually say, you know, I want a good fundamental story. You know, I want like Danny's Magic Internet Money. I want, you know, I want Crypto Chico's FA. You know, Sjord and his fundamental research. And then we focus on those good fundamental stories, and then we're just killing it on the trades. Like that LTO. And Luna, and trust me, we've done really, really well on Luna. So we ain't got nothing to complain about there. All right, I think I'm going to leave the rant at that. Oh, and by the way, I guess one last pitch. Why not? I think that this UBIC, I've told you guys this repeatedly. I like the fundamentals. I don't know what the guys internally are doing. But if these sons of bitches ever get their act together, oh my God, there's so much money to be made on this damn thing. I do find it actually a bit surprising that this thing is just stalled right out and just can't get its act together and get going here. So I think this thing should be a hell of a lot higher. But so fucking what? If anything, this is a great analogy. So what, Brian? Yeah, that's your opinion. So bloody what? So, Actually, I do have a bunch of. Actually, I mean, there's some really interesting stories here. Colin's involved in that hero story, and I went and bought this W. What the hell? We'll see what happens. It'd be interesting. Maybe we're lucky we can get a report from Colin on the insides of the company. What are they doing? I think we probably got a pretty good shot of rallying back up top here. So, I mean, that's kind of cute. There are fun little names out there that I'm having fun with, but I'll tell you, it's. I'm worried that we're getting so close to the end of this cycle. I don't want to fall in love with anything here. I noticed a couple of these names that a couple of our OGs. We got Raf and Bobo over there out of the UK. I noticed one of their names was popping up violently here recently. You tell me, if this thing ever gets its act together, I don't know what the story is, but they like them. Has this thing got a bit of money to be made here? It looks to me like it does. I don't know. Call me crazy. Oh, I guess that one's already moved. That one looks like it's still sitting down. These are a couple that Raf and Boba like. So, keep your eyes peeled. This is one that Danny was touting. He still liked. I've got bids working. This is about one of the only things I'm trying to buy, and I just can't get filled, bastards. So maybe if we can get a crypto dump here, they'll dump it into some of my buy orders. So that's something I could entertain buying here. Okay, I got to shut the hell up. All right, have yourselves a great day, everybody. Sure hope you enjoyed that. Remember, my number one job here was to just try and make a positive difference in all of your guys' lives. I'm just going to leave it to the universe. Universe, Spirit, Jojo, Joe B, James. I've worked my fucking ass here off over the past 10 years to try and really make a positive difference in this world. I hope you guys over there on the other side are impressed. My number one objective through all of this was we want to get Liam a house so that he can be assured that he has a nice warm home and he's not living off fucking government handouts for the rest of his life. That's my aspiration. Take that damn Bitcoin up to 2.25, and we'll let that happen. And you have my promise that my number one focus will be him. So, if I've made a positive difference in your life, if you feel as though you would like to try and help Liam out, as I said earlier, you know how you can. And what I would say is TRI has turned into a great community. I'm just a minority member now, so it's not like TRI is Brian Beamish. TRI is a community of partners and a whole bunch of people all trying to work together to make a positive difference in this world. So I'm super proud of the group for that. And hell, you want to learn how to trade? You want to learn how to run a small business of trading? Well, come on the site. I mean, we have tons and tons of people that'll tell you this shit works. It's just a question, you just got to apply yourself. That's all. So. Okay, have yourselves a great day. Thank you for the best wishes with Liam. All the best. PMA for the win. And bye for now.